Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And I'm sorry about smiling. I just like this story that's coming up. It's not a good time if you're Humza Yousaf, is it? And to be honest, we are going to come back to him and the big story in a video later today. So do keep an eye out for that. But what we've got here is a little throwback to yesterday where Humza Yousaf was forced to apologise to the chamber. It took him 3 attempts because he was really not wanting to say sorry. And the reason is, of course, he called Douglas Ross a liar. Douglas Ross accused Humza Yousaf of being sly, sleek and secretive over falling police numbers. And on hearing that and what he was said, Yousaf called Ross a liar. Now, they say a week is a long time in politics, but a day is nothing. And a whole day has passed since Humza Yousaf calls Douglas Ross a liar as Ross makes these claims about falling police numbers. And here we are, short 24 hours later, and the police have announced that they're axing plans to recruit another 200 staff, another 200 officers, and there'll be no more recruitment this financial year. It seems Douglas Ross was actual fact spot on. He wasn't a liar at all. It's taken 24 hours, and Humza Yousaf has been made out to look like a complete banana. And or liar. Certainly a fool. Anyway, we'll take a look at this story, see what's going on, see why it turns out then Douglas Ross was right, and that Humza Yousaf, well, speaks with forked tongue. Here goes. So here we go. Look, Police Scotland axe plans to recruit 200 officers in January in a slap in the face for Humza Yousaf. I mean, you couldn't make it up. Just yesterday, he gets accused of cutting police numbers, calls the guy accusing him a liar, and 24 hours later, bang, massive cut in police numbers. It's just delicious, isn't it? You couldn't make it up. You honestly couldn't. And I do hope that, because I'm having a great time with this story, and I hope you are. And do please hit that like button. Absolutely hit the like button. That really pushes it out. But also, if you haven't really, yet subscribed, now's an excellent time. Do subscribe, build the channel, get the news, keep this coming, and then you won't miss the next sort of big news one about Humza that we're going to talk about later on today. So do hit the subscribe button, do hit the like button. We'll get on with this. The crash-strapped single force has cancelled all recruitment for the rest of the financial year, all the way through to April now, with the bombshell news emerging less than 24 hours after the furious First Minister accused rivals of lying over the police cash crisis. They keep cutting the budget. And of course the police can't afford to hire these people. And you're still losing the top end. You're still getting the people at the top retiring, going off ill, injured and whatever. And if you're not replacing them, then that can only mean one thing: fewer police. That's why the service is in disarray. It's why they're not even investigating minor crimes in half the bloody areas. Anyway, Police Scotland is set to cancel plans to recruit 200 probationary officers in January. It has been reported today, and this comes less than 24 hours after Humza Yousaf accused rivals of lying about the extent of the force's financial crisis. A crisis purely made by the SNP. No matter what they say, no matter who they try to blame, it's them. The First Minister was taken to task by both Scots Tory leader Douglas Ross and Scottish Labour leader Anna Sawar at Holyrood on Thursday as part of FMQs. We covered the story of that yesterday. He failed to answer questions about how many frontline officers and police stations are going to be axed and which crimes that are no longer going to be investigated. Of course he couldn't answer it because the answers were awful for him. The truth is always bad for the SNP. That's why they never speak it. They hate the truth. Clearly infuriated, he accused Mr Ross of telling lies and had to be asked to apologise 3 times by the presiding officer, be finally offered a half-hearted apology. In response to the criticism, he said, "What I'll continue to do is to make sure that Police Scotland is, of course, fairly funded." Well, you could start by putting some money in, by actually funding it, never mind fairly funding it. Now the Herald is reporting that new cuts to the officer recruitment are due to be announced on Friday, today. So, Scottish Conservative Justice Secretary Russell Findlay said, Police Scotland's new Chief Constable takes office on Monday morning. And SNP ministers must give her, every police officer and every other police officer, the respect of being honest about the price of their spending decisions. Well, how can they be honest? They just can't be honest. The SNP cannot be honest because they know if ever they fall into the mistake of accidentally saying some truth, it's a terrible thing to be because they may accidentally tell the wrong truth and let people know exactly what's going on. That's why they lie about everything. Anyway, a weak Humza Yousaf used desperate deflection to claim all was well, only for the truth to emerge within 24 hours. And after choking Police Scotland's budgets for years, we know now that the SNP are inflicting further cuts to officer numbers, which are already at their lowest since 2008, and the possible closure of dozens more police stations. Indeed, we reported the other day that in Rutherglen itself, Rutherglen and Hamilton West, there will be no police stations. They're closing all 3 police stations. That's undoubtedly had an effect on the result. Anyway, meanwhile, Scottish Lib Dem leader Alex Cole-Hamilton said the incoming Chief Constable Joe Farrell must put the budget crisis at the top of her in-tray. And he highlighted a warning from Scottish Police Federation General Secretary David Kennedy that people may die because of the cuts. And of course they will. People are going to die. It's undoubted. They're going to cost lives because of this policy. In response to the latest reports, Mr Kennedy said, the announcement by Police Scotland that no recruitment will take place until April 2024 is shocking. We expect a larger than normal number to retire in the last quarter of this year because of changes to the pension scheme. So we're likely to see hundreds of officers, it says less, but it means fewer, than we have now. At least hundreds, possibly 1,000 officers. And at that point, you're already nearly 1,000 officers below target. You're going to lose more. You're going to end up maybe 2,000 officers below target. Unbelievable that this is allowed to happen. Mind you, it's okay because at least you've got nice shiny brochures. You can throw them at the criminals and hope that they maybe trip them up or something. Who knows? He said, we're already down almost 1,000 officers on the 2013 number, the year Police Scotland was created. So it's no exaggeration to say we're facing a public safety crisis. You're not facing the crisis. The public are facing the crisis. And this is why there'll be a rise in vigilantism. You're going to get people administering street justice because the police aren't there. And some burglar will come in or whatever, get caught, and he's going to be beaten to a bloodied pulp. And then the police are going to go, oh, isn't that terrible, isn't that sad? And the politicians will say, oh, this is terrible, this is sad, we shouldn't be allowing this. You're causing this. You're absolutely causing this. A police source told the Herald that Police Scotland will not recruit probationary constables from January for a quarter, and with the decision simply guided by having no money to do so. Well, of course not. They keep getting the budgets cut. The newspaper also reported that a decision on closing 27 police stations was meant to be announced on Friday, but is now under review. Under review because of what happened last night. They were handed their arse, of course, and so now it's like, oh my God, what are we going to do? We can't keep on as we're doing. People won't vote for us because people don't like it. And that's why this is going to be under review. There's going to be a lot of things under review. They're going to be changing an awful lot of things because they've seen that people don't like it. But this, cutting police numbers, yeah, I mean, it's undoubtedly, it's going to cost people their lives one way or another. Anyway, I'm going to come up. You know, you only have to look at the likes of Portland in Oregon or San Francisco in California to see what society looks like when policing is insufficient. You're getting all the big chains pull their shops because people just keep looting them. The crime rate is through the roof. There's open use of various pharmaceuticals. And that's all that's going to happen. It becomes a hellhole. And it goes past a point of no return where it cannot be salvaged. And that is likely to happen. And once you get to a point where minor crimes aren't being investigated, it's only a stepping stone until slightly more serious crimes aren't being investigated, until eventually you'll end up like Juarez or something in Mexico, where virtually lawless states exist. And that's when, you know, you're going to get vigilant committees set up, guarding their own areas, administering this justice, beating people, possibly even ending their lives. And then it'll be like, oh, but what's went wrong? Well, I think we can point the finger directly at one party and say, that's what's went wrong. That is the cause of the problem. And if one policy is designed to totally destroy a society, it's this. You need police. We don't like them, but you need them. We know they're awful people, but you need them. A lot of them are corrupt, but you need them. And it's a strange world we live in. Why do they think cutting police numbers is going to make the world better? Or is it just if there's fewer police, there's fewer police to investigate them? Anyway, I shall finish there. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that this has been illuminating enough for you to hit that subscribe button. Certainly hit the like. And until next time, stay safe, stay well. And remember, guard what you've got, because the police ain't there to help you. Bye.